Most people think a used luxury SUV is a financial trap. The truth is the opposite. If you know which ones were engineered to outlast the payment book. Today, 5 luxury SUVs that lose 45 to 60% of their value in the first 5 to 7 years, but are so overbuilt that 200,000 miles is the starting point, not the finish line. These are the vehicles where depreciation is not a warning sign. It is a discount on engineering that was designed to survive conditions most SUVs will never see, based on auction data, owner forums, and long-term reliability studies. Let's get into it. Number 5. Infiniti QX80 2014 to 2019. The Infiniti QX80 is the most overlooked luxury SUV on the used market, and that is exactly why it belongs on this list. A 2017 QX80 stickered at roughly $67,000. Today, that same vehicle with under 80,000 miles trades for $23,000 to $27,000. That is a 60% loss. And what you're buying underneath the Infiniti badge is a vehicle sold globally as the Nissan Patrol, an SUV designed to cross deserts in the Middle East, navigate unpaved terrain in Australia, and survive conditions where a broken vehicle is not an inconvenience. It is a survival problem. The 5.6-liter VK 56 VDV8 produces 400 horsepower and 413 pound-feet of torque. It has no turbochargers, no cylinder deactivation, no hybrid system. It is a large displacement, naturally aspirated V8 with direct injection and variable valve timing. Conservative engineering that prioritizes thermal stability over fuel economy. Owners on patrol forums in Australia and the Middle East routinely report 300,000 to 400,000 kilometers with nothing beyond scheduled maintenance. The 7-speed automatic is similarly overbuilt. It was designed for the patrol's towing and off-road requirements, which means in daily driving it operates at roughly half its rated capacity. The trade-offs are real. Fuel economy sits at 14 miles per gallon city and 20 highway. The interior technology feels a generation behind. The exterior design is polarizing. You either accept it or you do not. But those are the reasons it depreciates. People buy the badge, not the engineering. And when the badge says Infiniti instead of Lexus, the market punishes the vehicle with a depreciation curve that makes no mechanical sense. At $25,000, you're buying a vehicle engineered to survive the Arabian desert for less than a new Honda CR-V. That is not a used car discount. That is market blindness. Number 4. Lincoln Navigator 2015 to 2017. Now the list moves to something most buyers dismiss without ever looking at the data. The Lincoln Navigator loses value faster than almost any large luxury SUV, and the reason has nothing to do with reliability. A 2016 Navigator stickered at roughly $65,000. 5 years later, that same vehicle trades in the $22,000 to $26,000 range. That is roughly 60% gone. The depreciation is driven by the Lincoln badge, not the vehicle underneath. The Navigator is built on the Ford F-150 platform. Same frame, same 3.5-liter EcoBoost V6, same 6-speed automatic. The F-150 is the best-selling vehicle in America for 40-plus consecutive years. Parts are available at every Ford dealership, every auto parts store, and every independent shop in the country. The EcoBoost V6 has been in production since 2011 and powers millions of vehicles. The failure rate is well documented and well below average for forced induction engines. The Navigator's reliability data tells a consistent story. The powertrain routinely reaches 200,000 miles without major intervention. Suspension components are Ford parts, meaning they cost a fraction of what European luxury equivalents cost. A Navigator air strut is roughly $400. A Range Rover air strut is roughly $1,500. A Navigator alternator can be replaced by any shop. A Mercedes GLS alternator requires removing the intake manifold. The interior is the reason it depreciates. The third-generation Navigator's cabin feels dated compared to the 2018 redesign. The switchgear is shared with Ford vehicles costing half as much. But if you value mechanical durability over interior fashion, that is a feature, not a bug. The vehicle underneath the dated dashboard is a proven truck platform with a proven engine and an unlimited part supply. At $25,000, you are buying a full-size luxury SUV with 3 rows, genuine towing capacity, and a maintenance network that spans every zip code in America. The original owner paid for the badge depreciation. You pay for the engineering. Number 3, Mercedes-Benz GLS 450 2017 to 2019. We are halfway through. And this next entry is going to surprise anyone who has ever been told to avoid German luxury. Here is why the GLS 450 is the exception that proves the rule. A 2017 GLS 450 stickered at roughly $72,000. Today, with under 70,000 miles, it trades in the $30,000 to $34,000 range, over 50% gone. And the engine underneath is the M276D EHLA. A 3.0-liter twin-turbo V6 that Mercedes built for over a decade and put into everything from the C-Class to the S-Class. Here is what the data says. The M276 is one of the few modern German engines where owners consistently report 200,000 miles with no major internal failures. The timing chain is at the rear of the engine, which sounds like a design flaw until you realize Mercedes solved the chain guide issues that plagued earlier engines. The direct injection system includes port injection backup, which prevents the carbon buildup that destroys earlier direct injection-only engines. The turbochargers are oil-cooled and water-cooled, and failures before 150,000 miles are rare. The 9-speed 9 G-tronic automatic is similarly sorted. It was in production for years before the GLS received it, and the early software issues were resolved by the 2017 model year. The Airmatic air suspension is the one asterisk. Air struts wear out between 80 and 120,000 miles. At roughly $1,200 per corner, that is a $4,000 to $5,000 maintenance item. Factor it into the purchase price, and the math still works. At $32,000 plus $5,000 for suspension, you're at $37,000 for a $72,000 SUV that will run another 100,000 miles. The GLS 450 is the German luxury SUV you buy when you understand the difference between a vehicle that is unreliable and a vehicle that has predictable, known maintenance costs. One is a trap. The other is a budget line item. The GLS 450 is the second one. Number 2, Porsche Cayenne 2011 to 2018, now number 2. And this one genuinely surprised me when I dug into the data. Because a Porsche SUV should not be here. Porsche builds sports cars. Their SUV should be expensive to maintain, expensive to repair, and a financial disaster the moment the warranty expires. That is the reputation. Here is what the owners actually report. A 2015 Cayenne stickered at roughly $65,000. Today, with under 80,000 miles, it trades in the $24,000 to $28,000 range, over 55% gone. But the retention data after year 5 tells a different story. The curve flattens. And it flattens because the market has figured out that the 958 generation Cayenne, particularly with the VR6 or the diesel, is one of the most durable vehicles Porsche has ever built. The 3.6-liter V R6 is a narrow-angle V6 that Porsche has been refining since the early 2000s. No turbo. No direct injection without port injection, no cylinder deactivation. It is simpler than the Cayenne's available V8S and more reliable as a result. The 8-speed SN automatic, the same transmission family Toyota uses, is widely regarded as bulletproof. This is not a PDK. It is a conventional torque converter automatic built by the same company that supplies transmissions to Lexus. The Cayenne diesel are equipped with the 3.0-liter V6 TDI is even more durable. Owners report 400,000 miles on original turbos and injectors. Fuel economy sits at 29 miles per gallon highway in a vehicle that weighs nearly 5,000 pounds and handles like a Porsche. The diesel was discontinued after 2016, but the ones still on the road are accumulating mileage at a rate that suggests they will outlast the owners. The maintenance is not Toyota cheap. Porsche parts carry a Porsche tax. But the failure rate on major components is low enough that the total cost of ownership over a 10-year window compares favorably to a Toyota Highlander, and the driving experience is in a different universe. That is the equation that does not show up on a window sticker. You are buying a Porsche-engineered chassis and a Toyota-sourced transmission for the price of a new RAV4, and it will run for another decade. Number 1. Lexus LX 570 2008 to 2021. Now we arrive at number 1. And if you have been paying attention to this channel, you knew it was coming, because one vehicle in the luxury segment has earned a reputation that the others can only aspire to. The Lexus LX 570 is not just reliable, it is mechanically inevitable. The LX 570 is built on the same platform as the Toyota Land Cruiser, a vehicle designed with a 25-year service life in a market where breakdowns can be life-threatening. The 5.7-liter 3UR-FEV8 is a cast-iron block engine with no turbochargers, no direct injection, no cylinder deactivation, and no start-stop system. It is one of the few engines still in production where the engineering question was not, how do we meet the fuel economy target, but how do we make this survive for 300,000 miles of worst-case use? The 8-speed automatic is similarly overbuilt. The full-time 4-wheel drive system with a 2-speed transfer case and locking center differential is derived from Toyota's global off-road program. The hydraulic suspension, not air, hydraulic, eliminates the single most common failure point in large luxury SUVs. Air suspension struts fail predictably. Hydraulic accumulators last the life of the vehicle. That is engineering for durability, not comfort. A 2015 LX 570 stickered at roughly $88,000. Today, with under 100,000 miles, it trades in the 38 to 42,000 range, over 50% gone. But here is the data that makes this vehicle unique. A 15-year-old LX 570 with 150,000 miles still trades for $25,000 to $28,000. The depreciation after year 6 is nearly flat. The market has figured out that these vehicles simply do not stop running. Owner-reported data on Land Cruiser and LX forums shows an average lifespan exceeding 300,000 miles with basic maintenance. The only known major expense is the starter motor, positioned under the intake manifold. It costs roughly $1,200 to replace at around 180,000 miles. That is it. One predictable repair in the first 2 decades of ownership. The fuel economy is the penalty. 13 miles per gallon city, 18 highway, premium fuel required. Over a 15-year ownership window, the fuel cost difference versus a Highlander hybrid is significant, but the repair cost difference erases it. The LX 570 does not break. The math is not complicated. The LX 570 is the luxury SUV you buy when you are done pretending the technology and turbochargers are a substitute for overbuilt engineering. Someone else paid the first $50,000 in depreciation. You pay for maintenance and fuel, and the vehicle simply continues. There is a pattern across all 5 of these vehicles. They are not the fastest. They are not the most technologically advanced. They are not the ones winning comparison tests in car magazines. What they all share is conservative engineering. Large displacement engines without unnecessary complexity, transmissions designed for heavier duty cycles than they will ever see in daily driving, and platforms that were engineered for conditions far worse than a highway commute. Someone else paid for the depreciation. You are buying the engineering. If you own one of these 5, drop your mileage in the comments. The LX 570 owners in particular, let us see who is pushing past 300,000 miles. And if you want honest data on which used SUVs are actually worth your money, hit subscribe. We break down the numbers every week, so you do not overpay for depreciation someone else already covered. I will see you in the next one.